Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Vixie, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you everything I use to print and foil my own acetate dashboards for my V6 Stalogy. This video will not include how I create my inserts because that video is coming, but check the timestamps below if you want to jump to a specific point. And as always, if I am talking too fast or too slow, you can alter the speed of the video, and if I am talking too slow, I recommend the 1.25 or 1.5 setting. So with that said, let's jump in. First up is a laser printer. I use a HP Laserjet that I got from Big W for around 120 bucks, but any laser printer should work fine. Next up, you'll need a laminator. Mine's about 13 years old, so quite old, and it doesn't heat quite as well as a newer one would, but at least I know that it still works. So if you have an older laminator, don't worry about it. It should still work fine. You just might end up with some black spots or, the foil not adhering to the acetate properly. But unless it turns out really badly, you should still be fine to use it, no problem. Next thing you need are the foils. So I get mine from Amazon, and I usually buy mine in a pack of 3 or 5, and I will link the packs that I buy in the description because you can actually get them for a really good deal if you wait. Alternatively, Spotlight does sell foil, which my awesome friend Lisa from Lunar Planner Mama buys, and I'll have the link to her channel in the description. And her foiling jobs look absolutely incredible. I haven't actually ever bought foil from Spotlight, so I do need to look into that, but in the meantime, this is what I've been using. Lastly, you need acetate. This is the brand that I bought and I hate it. I do not recommend this acetate. It is incredibly flimsy and weak and has zero substance. Seriously, it's so bad. The upside to this though is that your planner won't bulk up like really obnoxiously if you use it. I mean, it's going to get thick, of course, if you're tipping stuff in and you're using stickers and you're basically doing what I do to my B6. Yes, it will definitely get thick as you get, further into it and you use it more. But this acetate won't bulk it up as much as if you were using something super high quality like from, I don't know, Josephine Bow or Simply Gilded or, someplace like that. Also, you will notice that this is like copier paper acetate. So this is not actually laser printer specific acetate because I'm an idiot and I was in way too much of a rush to buy something that I thought would work. I mean, it does work, obviously, but it's probably half my problem is most likely because of the fact that I rushed and I didn't buy the proper acetate that I needed for my printer. So I do not know whether or not the laser printer specific acetate is thicker and has more substance because I don't use it. But yeah, just maybe keep that in mind. So if you have a laser printer, maybe get the laser printer version rather than the version that I got, which turns out to be the wrong version. Okay, anyway, let's move on to actually foiling. All right, so once you have your design, you want to use your laser printer to print it onto your acetate. I have 2 dashboards here, so I'm going to cut these down first so that I have 2 that are the right size to fit directly into my B6. But if you're not using a B6, then you would just print and cut your insert or your dashboard to the size of whatever planner or notebook you're using. All right, so here it is all cut down. I'm only going to foil the stars because I wanted a rainbow foil for the paint splatter, and I don't actually have it. I've used it all up apparently. So for the stars, I figure I'll just do hollow because that's my favorite foil anyway, and yeah, like no other reason really. It's just my favorite foil. So that's what I'm going to use for the stars. So when you go to foil your acetate, you want to make sure that you put the foil on the right side. And I'm not sure you're going to be able to see this. I don't even know if you can tell how flimsy this acetate is, which is why I don't like it. But one side is a little bit more matte than the other side, which is really, really shiny. And if you can't tell, if you run your finger over a star, or whatever you want to foil, if you run your finger over it, you'll be able to feel a difference. Like it will feel matte and it will feel a little bit rough. Not a lot rough or anything, just a little bit, but you will be able to tell the difference when you run your finger over it if you can't tell just by looking at it, and it can be a little bit tricky sometimes. But the matte side or the rougher side is the side that you actually want to put the foil onto, not the shiny side. So this is really straightforward to open. You just like pop the lid off and it comes in, I don't know, 5 rolls? 5 sheets, not 5 rolls, 5 sheets. Good Lord, if you had 5 rolls, you'd have way too many. And this is what it looks like. So it's actually, there's not a lot of foil here. For the amount of money that you're paying for it, there's really not a lot of foils here. I don't think there's really a lot that you can do about that, unfortunately, unless you want to buy it by the roll, which you obviously would make it a lot cheaper. And then if you buy on AliExpress or Alibaba or something, then it's going to be way cheaper than buying on Amazon anyway. I have not looked on AliExpress, so I have absolutely no idea how much it would cost, and I don't know the quality of the foil anyway, but that is an option if you wanted to go that way. And actually, I should probably do that. I should probably just jump onto AliExpress and see what their pricing is and how good it is. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to cut the foil to the size of the acetate. So, and it doesn't have to be like completely perfect. You just want to make sure, because basically all the foil needs to do is cover the black toner. That's it. And you just want to make sure that you don't cut the actual acetate, because then you'll end up with imperfect acetate, basically. Okay, so that is it. That's pretty much all you have to do. Make sure the foil's on the right side, which it is. And you want to have the foil facing up. So the shiny hollow side will be facing you, because that's the bit that's actually going to get like glued down onto the black toner from your laser printer. And then the next bit you need is just a piece of copy paper. So just normal printer paper that you would use to print, you know, whatever off your printer. You just need one of those. Make sure it's clean. Make sure your foil is lined up on your acetate sheet, and then you just put it in like this basically. So you just, hopefully you can see the shadow. Yeah, I think you can see that shadow. So you just like stick it in there so it's nice and snug, and then this goes through the laminator. All right, so my laminator is fully heated up now. So I'm just gonna, it's very difficult for me to do one-handed and hold the camera at the same time because I don't have a tripod. Anyway, okay, so here we go. You just wanna feed it through. It will catch. But yeah, just let it go through, and when it comes out the other end, we'll take a look. So I'm just going to leave it for a few seconds just to cool down to make sure that the foil has actually adhered to the toner. We'll take a look. So you can see that it's a bit wrinkly at the moment, and that's okay. But hopefully the foil has actually adhered to all of the black stars, all of the black toner. And what will happen is if it doesn't, you'll have little black spots. And this is very common in old laminators. I don't know about the ink machine because I don't have one, so I don't really know whether or not it's common with those or not. Maybe if you have one, could you just let us know in the comments whether or not you experience the same thing? But I do know that this is very common with old laminators. All right, so here we go. Now we get to see whether or not it worked, or whether or not my laminator is going to make me look like an amateur. Which I am anyway, but still. Nobody likes to be called out on their amateurness, you know? Okay, so we do have a little bit of an issue here, just a small issue. So on the back of the foil, the black has come off onto the foil. It's actually taken off the toner onto the foil itself. That's not supposed to do that. And I don't know if that's an issue with me or if that's an issue with my printer, but looking at it, it's actually not so bad. So there's a tiny little spot here. Let's see if I can zoom you in. I don't know if that's any better, but there is a couple of tiny little spots here, and a couple of tiny little spots here, and then a couple of little tiny spots here. A bit of the star actually came off here as well. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. Okay, so another little has come off this star here. It's not actually that noticeable. I'm okay with it, and it's personal use anyway. I'm not selling it, so I would be fine with that. So yeah, that is pretty much how you foil a dashboard of any size. And if you were doing it in a full A4, if you're doing a full A4 page or a letter-sized page, all you would do is exactly the same way. So you would just stick your acetate in between two blank sheets of copy paper before you put it through your laminator. So like that. So even if they're all the same size, you've still got a backing and a front page to like protect it before it goes through the laminator. So you could possibly laminate without using some protective paper, but I wouldn't recommend it, and I have never tried it. I've just heard that it can be done. I just wouldn't trust that at all, because I wouldn't want anything to like melt going through my laminator or, you know, get caught and stuffed up. So that's not something that I would do. But anyway, yeah, that's it. It's super easy, it's super fast, and it's very, very addictive. So if you have the means, if you can do this, would highly recommend it. And if you do happen to foil anything, tag me on Instagram, because I would love to see what you do. But yeah, that's it. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought in the comments, including any questions that you have, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye everybody.